Hi everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to my cozy kitchen. And today we will be making Ahi Tuna Sushi Rolls. Okay, so one of the main ingredients you'll need for your sushi rolls is sushi rice. Now, I followed the directions on the actual package and it worked out just fine. So this is 1.5 cups of rice to 2 cups of water. And what they say on the package is to let it stand in a saucepan for 15 minutes, then bring it to a boil, cover it, reduce it to a simmer, and cook it until the water is absorbed into the rice. Now, it took me approximately 10 minutes to get that water to absorb into the rice. That was about the time frame that I used. Because on here it said up to 20 minutes, but I actually was able to get that down in about 10. Then I just turned it off, took it off the stove, and I just left the cover on it for 5 minutes, and then you stir it up with a spoon, okay? So this worked out really good. It does take longer. Now, pressure cooker. I did the same exact recipe. I put it into the pressure cooker. I did the same amount of rice to the same amount of water. But what I did do different is I only let the rice stand in the water for 5 minutes. Then I set the pressure cooker to 6 minutes and I turned it on, and once it was done, the timer went off for the pressure I released the pressure and did the stir, and I did the same thing. I left the cover on it after that and I let it stand for 5 minutes. The rice really came out really well. So it does shave off some time by using the pressure cooker. Okay? Now you want to keep your rice a little bit warm. You want it at least at room temperature, and make sure you have a bowl of water. I use that for my fingers. The other thing we have to do is we have to get our ingredients ready. I'm using avocado, so I'm going to need to cut up my avocado. I'm using the Ahi tuna that I picked up. This is a 1 pound pack of Ahi tuna. We're gonna need to cut this down. And I've got some Philadelphia cream cheese. We need to cut this up as well. Our plate here, I've got a bell pepper that I julienne really thin strips. It's probably about a half a bell pepper. I wanna add a little bit into each one of my rolls. All right, so let's get the camera down. I'll show you how to get all this stuff processed. All right, so we're going to cut the package of tuna open. Again, this is 1 pound of Ahi tuna. I got a plate here off to the side. I want to cut my tuna into strips, just like that, nice and thin. So use a nice sharp knife and cut them into nice thin strips. All right, so this is 2 examples of your rolls. So you can see the one has rice on the outside, the other one is nori sheet on the outside with rice in the middle. As you're making the rolls, put them on a tray. I put a little bit of plastic wrap on the bottom just to keep them from sticking. And then I'm gonna cover them also with a piece of plastic as I make them, just to keep them from drying out. All right, let's show you how to roll them. All right, first thing you need is a sheet. So you can use whatever type of roasted seaweed sheet you want. I picked these up from the Asian market the other day, and they come in a big pack of these guys. These have a little Ziploc on it so you can keep them fresh. So this one has a perforation in it. This way you can actually break these and make smaller rolls. I like to make a little bit larger roll. All right. So it doesn't really matter which way you put the sheet down. This is my bamboo mat. Well, it represents bamboo mat, so this is my bamboo mat that I have here. But I really wanted to try this plastic one because honestly, it'll be a lot easier to clean and it'll pretty much last forever. All right, so lay your sheet down. Now you need rice. That's your next part. You want to wet your fingers. I got a bowl with warm water here, and wet them both your hands. Throw that rice right on the sheet. Make sure you grab a little bit more rice and keep your fingers wet. Okay, go ahead and put a nice generous amount of rice on your sheet and spread that rice around. And let's get a little more rice on there. And go ahead and run your rice all the way to this outer edge on both sides, as much as you can. Now the top part and the bottom here, I leave a little bit of gap on the top and bottom. Next thing, this is when you decide, do I want to flip it over or do I want to keep it the way it is? I'm going to flip it over. Put the rice down, so the rice is on the outside. So gently flip it over, and at this time you can kind of pack it down just a little bit. Now, we're going to go ahead and put our tuna on the sheet. Okay, I'm going to put 2 lines of tuna to make a little bit on the thicker amount of fish here, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to use some avocado. Place some avocado in there. You can lay it in layers like this and it makes the roll look so much nicer. Okay. Just like that. All right, next thing we're going to do is some cream cheese. You don't have to use cream cheese. You can do it just straight up the way I'm doing it. But again, I'm going to put that on the outer side of the avocado, just like that. So I've got the sweet bell pepper that I cut really thin. I'm going to lay that right on top of that cream cheese, just like that. Now, just take your mat and roll it up, nice and gently. Roll it again, and you just keep repeating this step, pushing down as you're rolling forward. And it'll pull all that ingredients inside there. You could actually roll this with your fingers too. Once you get to this point, you could literally roll it over like that. And then what the mat's nice for is you take the mat and you put it over the top and you push it down. Tighten it up a little bit like this. And that'll tighten your roll up really nicely. And look at that. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go ahead and put that on the tray. All right, I'm going to show you how to cut the rolls here. Now, you can cut them in whatever size you care to have them in. I'm going to go ahead and slice through just like that. And go ahead and set that off to the side. And let's go ahead and wet that knife a little bit. Sticking a little bit. But doesn't that look beautiful? So I made this one without avocado in it. Okay. So when you get to this end, just go ahead and flip it up, just like that, however you want to present it. Now let's go ahead and cut one of the other ones with the nori sheet on the outside. But look at how nice that is. Isn't that beautiful? So simple. Now it is time consuming. Obviously you have to wait for your rice to get done. And when you don't know how to do these rolls that well, it's going to be a little bit tricky in the beginning. But you know what? You're really going to love them once you're done with them. And you did them all by yourself. So there you go. I'm just going to continue to cut these up. You know what? I'm really happy with this plastic mat. I didn't know how it would work out, but it's really slick and it's really easy to wash. Now generally, the bamboo mats are the ones that we use. Okay. And a lot of guys will wrap these with plastic wrap just because of the same reason I was just telling you. It's harder to keep clean. Now you can be creative. So if you make your sushi roll with the rice on the outside, you could dust it with some toasted sesame seed. You could throw green onions on it. I like this sushi sauce. I picked this up. This is a Kikkoman product. This stuff is fantastic. You can squirt that over the top. You can use, there's a sriracha mayonnaise they sell in the market. You could put that over the top. There's all kinds of things you could do with your rolls. Now, also, don't forget to get some wasabi. Wasabi is what they use on, anytime you go to a sushi restaurant and you get sushi rolls, they put wasabi on a plate with a little bit of ginger. So I made this wasabi out of a powder, mixed it with water. I guess I can do another segment and show you how to do it. If you smell it, it's got some kick to it, so you don't need very much. Again, you can use whatever sushi grade fish you want. You can even make these with chicken. You can make them vegetarian. There's many options you have. It's just a matter of getting the technique down of rolling them. But anyway, I hope the video was easy enough to follow along with. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Subscriptions are free. They only just notify you when a video has been dropped, and it gives you a notification kind of first out there. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic day. Chef Leroy, and out.